Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Says in the Morning, 15 minutes to change our lives. Okay, continuing on in the Sikha. What was talking about yesterday, to Parashas Yisro. So we were saying what does it mean, that Hashem spoke all these things, lamer, saying. What does it mean saying? So not only when it says saying, it's that Hashem is talking to Moshe, and Moshe should repeat it to the Jewish people. But here, the Jewish people are Torah. And it's not, and you can't say that it's talking about the generations after, the people, going to come later on like us. Because it says, all the Yidden were there. So what does it mean lamer? So the Magnum message explains that lamer means say, take the 10 utterances, and the Sersa Dibros, and bring it into the 10 utterances, which create the world. As we know, by some Amaris never when 10 utterances the world is created. And Chassidus talks about this a lot, and then Shiur Ve'emunah. And the world is being recreated every single moment from Hashem's speech, and Hashem's called the world to be created, and that creates the physical world. And so what we're trying to do, what we're meant to be doing, the Magid Mezrich is explaining on this word lamer, is that we're meant to infuse the physical world with the Aseret Dibros. And what does it mean in practical, simple terms? It means just like we are when we're in shul, or we're learning, or we're in our holy environment, and we're behaving in that way. That's how we should be everywhere. We shouldn't be two people. It's like I asked a friend of mine, and he has the same name as my new son, Yosef. So I said, how do you spell it? Some people have been asking me, how do you spell it in English? So the way he spelled it was Joseph. And it reminded me that growing up, had a lot of people, like when in school, in the culture that I grew up in, people had like an English name. Everyone had an English name. And that was given by birth. I don't know exactly why they did it. I'm not going to judge. I'm not here to judge. All I'm saying is that this is sort of the idea that the Rebbe was talking about, how we shouldn't be like two separate people. There's, when I go to work, my name is Joseph. And when I'm in yeshiva, or in school, or in the Beis Medrash, or whatever, in my Jewish environment, my name is Joseph. Shouldn't be those two people. And I think it's slowly becoming less of this dynamic. And this is what we're working on. And you can imagine the Rebbe was talking about this in 1953. That in those days was huge. Just to stay frum was very difficult. So to even be frum the same way, like it says, like having a beard and having a haircut, with long payas and short hair wasn't shaykh in those days. It was, and so this is what the Rebbe was fighting against, the Rebbe was talking about. And ultimately the lesson is for us, we have to recognize what's the best me. That could be Tishrei, it could be when I'm in shul, it could be when I'm at a ring, and it could be when I'm learning in the Shiur, it could be the Shiur in the morning. But to try to learn how to bring that with us to where we go. And that's what we said yesterday. And the Rebbe is gonna re-emphasize this today again with a different pasuk. So this is Ois Gimel. Zu gam mashmot, and this is also the implication of what it says in the pasuk. Was to me my tears of bread day and night. So what does it mean over here? There was for me my tears of bread day and night. Be'emar, when I said Elai kol hayoim to myself the whole day, Ayeh lekecha, where is my God? So what does this mean? It says so it says again, it was to me my tears of bread day and night when I said to myself all day, where is my God? So we're going to touch this up, what it means, based off in similar vein what we said before. What's my tears like bread day and night? What does it mean? Was my tears like bread? That's hamarirus. The depression is so strong. Until the tears. Shamsha is tachalif the lechem. My tears are switched from bread. Meaning that's my sustenance, crying. Behesim liyadua shamrirus mashpia ad kadei hargasha shel rav, to the extent that when we're depressed, we can even lose lack of appetite. And that's what he's saying, that my tears were switched for bread, that because I was so depressed and I was so sad that I wasn't even hungry anymore. Yeah, dimasi lechem, my tears were bread, meaning they were instead of my sustenance. The day and night, I wasn't even hungry. And people know that it's unfortunately when someone is depressed, someone's really down, it's lack of appetite. It's not a good place. So this is the situation. So the question is, Minayi Noivas Amiro. So where is this depression coming from? Why is a person in such a bad state? It's so sad they're not even hungry. And then it says in the continuation of the pasuk, when I say to myself, from above, the question is coming. In the whole day, I'm being bothered. Where is your God? So where is this depression coming from? From above, from the question of the fact, where is your God? What does it mean? Pirish shelakecha, where is your God? What does it mean, your God? Who? This is your power and your chayas. We're talking about a level of godliness that keeps you alive. Who's your God? Hashem's your God. Havaye, the level of Havaye. What's Havaye? Shalamaylam is Manumakam, which is above time and space. Havaye, Haya, was, is, and will be. This is my level of godliness above time and space. Ulamaylam Mishtashalus, and above nature. Who Elekecha? This is your liveliness. Now, I can't even more. Not just that he's your liveliness, and he's Lamaylam said Ishtashalus. Yes, I can't even more than this. We say, I am Hashem. What's Anochi? Anochi Misha Anochi. I, who I am, which is the Loi Israme, Loi Bishum Ois, Loi Bishum Kutz. Not hinted to, not in any type of letter or even a little dot. It's to my godliness, a deep level of godliness above and beyond. That's the level of godliness that is your liveliness, your power, your strength. So what we're saying is that really godliness and the godliness we're talking about, meaning there's different levels of godliness, different levels of the way Hashem expresses himself in this world and expresses himself with us. Just like in a relationship, there's different levels of your relationship. And we're talking about a deep level of the relationship. The level of godliness is so deep that it's above nature. It's above Sedish, it's even above a name. It's above everything. And that's what's giving us a life force. Zu hadrisha hamufenes klapi adam. This is the thing that is being requested and talked about to the person. Kol hayim ayelekecha. The whole day, where is my godliness? Where is this level of godliness we're talking about? That feeling. The depression is because you realize I have no connection to my godliness. There's a godliness that it's that's anochi mish anochi l'mayim sedish above nature. A deep level of godliness, a deep level. It's how like you have a relationship with someone, a deep level relationship that you can be vulnerable with a person. That there's a level of relationship with a person. Yeah, you're cordial. Hello, how are you? And small talk. Then there's a deep level of relationship with someone that you can talk to them, discuss things. You can even be vulnerable and tell them about issues that are going on in your life, and they don't judge you. And then there's even deeper levels, and there's a level of intimacy, like there's physical intimacy, and that comes from a deeper level. And there's a lot of levels of relationship. And we're talking about a deep level of relationship that we have with God. The problem is we're not in touch with that, and we're very distant from it. Kol hayoim, and it's all day like this. We feel this way. Ha'uvda shehu ma'agish es elekecha b'shas atfil limnateiram or b'shas isvadus eino maspekas. The Rebbe says something like this. He goes, when you're davening and you're learning, or you had a bring, you had something spiritual. Shabbos, let's say, is a good day for you, and you're having a very good time on Shabbos, and so over there to say, I feel godliness, I feel the anochi. That's at ani misha, I'm way above and beyond. There's a lot of godliness, intimacy with godliness on Shabbos. Shkoyach. That doesn't mean anything. Not that it's not good; it's good, but But that's not what we're talking about here. That's not what the parsha is teaching us. That's not the kavanah. Meaning, it's not that it's not good. It's good, but the ultimate intent is not that. This is what a malach can do. To be spiritually holy on Shabbos, to be holy by ringing or by davening or by learning or by something that connects with you, by lighting the Shabbos candles, that's also an angel can do. And their angels are under the chair of glory. They're in a spiritual place as well. They're in a good spiritual surrounding and they're doing the right things. That's great. But so when you do it, you're not doing anything. There's no chidush in that. Kavanas yiviras neshama beguf. The purpose of the neshama coming down, he levar to refine as aguf as nefesh b'hamis, the body nefesh b'hamis. Sharei haneshama atzma eina tzricha tikkun klal. The neshama itself doesn't need to be refined anyway. So the neshama, when it comes down, it's not coming down for itself, for its specialness. It doesn't have anything it needs to do by itself. The neshama was good before, and it can stay good down here. The challenge of the neshama is to affect the body and the nefesh b'hamis. Hadavisha klapav, in regards to the neshama, what its job is, he shekol hayoyim b'shah shehu oichel b'shah shehu sheisa, when you're eating, when you're drinking, b'shah shehu esek b'maschari b'malachta, when we go to work, when we go outside of that, when we do things that are outside of that mizgeres, the bubble of spirituality, Yiddishkeit, Torah mitzvahs. When we go outside of that, b'shah shehu medaber im b'nei adam, we're speaking to someone. We have to feel that elikecha. The same way you felt godliness when you're davening and learning, when you have that inspiration, whatever it is for you, it could be Shabbos, lighting Shabbos candles, could be giving tzedakah, could be helping someone, any mitzvah that you do and that you feel the inspiration, that's how you should feel all day. That's how we should be connected all day when we're doing the other mundane things. Because if you just feel it when you're doing the spiritual things, you're not more than an angel. And an angel is nice, but that's not why Hashem brought you here. Hashem doesn't need more angels. He needs more neshamas begufim and neshama in our body. And it's a challenge. That's the whole point. If it wasn't a challenge, then we'd be back to being angels again. The purpose is it is a challenge. And that's why the person is depressed to the point of not even being hungry anymore. Why? Because they don't feel this. It's easy when they're davening and learning, but when they come out to the world, it's a totally different experience. And they don't feel the same way. And we all have this to a certain extent, but otherwise it wouldn't be this sikha. The sikha is there because it is a challenge. But the point is, we have the ability to overcome the challenge, and this is what we're trying to do. And this is what we have to focus ourselves on. How do I behave when I'm outside of that? You know, some people, and everyone has it in the challenge in their own way. Some people, when you're davening and learning, when you go, you dress, let's say, a certain way in Crown Heights, but then you go out, you go vacation, or you go somewhere into Manhattan, or everyone's place. It's only you act differently, and it's different. It doesn't mean that you walk around on vacation, learning Chitas and Rambam all day and not looking at the sights, going to the mountain, and instead of looking at the mountain, sitting there and doing Chitas and Rambam. Of course, you have to do Chitas and Rambam still. I'm just saying you have to understand. It doesn't mean you have to be square in the other place. Which means that it's not a stira. It's like I told the story before. A friend of mine, his shlucha used to, I don't know if still does, whatever, used to go for like a 2-week vacation with the family to his parents' like holiday home. And so she said to them, the world works for 50 weeks out of the year. In order to take a vacation 2 weeks out of the year. She goes, I take a 2-week vacation out of the year in order that we can work the rest of the year. And this is sort of the point that our world is a likus. And whether it is in seminary or whether it is in Shabbos candles or Shabbos or davening or learning or for ringans, that's our reality. And what we're doing and what they're ever saying we should be doing, this is the variety of the Magid. Then why does it say lamer that same enthusiasm, that same connection that we feel to Hashem when we're in that spiritual high should be able to be brought out into our mundane, the rest of the world, the rest of the reality. And that's what we're meant, and that's what we're doing. It means when you come and greet someone, you speak to them. It's not you totally speak to them about shtusim, and you don't talk about anything you learned. It doesn't mean you have to just be fake. It's very important. This whole vart. It's not like pretend. Like you pretend that suddenly it has to be genuine. It has to come from you. That we have to be so involved, so connected. We say, let me share you this idea. Or that's in the best way, but also in the other way is let me think about, maybe I shouldn't say this. It's not a valuable thing to say. As Rabbi Gordon says, that there's three types of conversations. There's the conversation about people, about things, and about ideas. When you're talking about people, normally it's negative. You shouldn't have that conversation unless you're coming and talk that's positive about someone. Then you're talking about things. It's better, but it's just like stuff. It's gashmis. It's the food is good. That's a better level than talking negatively about people, but it's nothing special. And then the best is ideas. Talking about ideas. For rain. So that's just for rain. You're talking about an idea, talking about something you learned in Torah, a question you have, and how to make life better, how to be more connected. That's the best. And then the mitzvah Hashem, by all of us, we should have this infusion. So therefore, you won't have this issue of lechem yom v'layla, that I'm constantly depressed and sad and not even hungry anymore because I don't see godliness, because in my world there's no godliness. Only in my shul, in my Shabbos candles, in my Shabbos, and in my Shiur. But it's not during the rest of the time. So mitzvah Hashem, by all of us, we shouldn't have this dichotomy. We should be very successful at it, and we should enjoy it. And we should never have this issue of lechem yom v'layla. We should never be not hungry just because of the sadness. Have a great day.